Hey, what's going on, fam? Dalton here, and we have got quite a few recaps to catch up on, so bear with me. We're going to be banging these out really quick. So, here was our first war after, these guys had actually an 11 streak, and they were decent, but, we ended up taking the cake with 10 triples, and, they were doing anti-threes, and, they actually weren't a bad team, but we were able to just secure the win. So, here we go. We're starting off with VA, and, preach about VA all the time. He's going to be doing a queen charge minor attack, and basically his queen charge is coming in from about the 11:30, 12 o'clock there, and it's going to be a perfect funnel so that queen goes straight into that Eagle Artillery Archer Queen area. Like we see a lot of common denominators in these raids, and one of the biggest things is the funnels, and then another really big thing is getting the value out of this queen charge. I don't see a lot of raids that are not based around the queen and her walker charge. So one real big thing to keep in mind is just making sure that she is going to get the maximum amount of value, unless it's like a Sui Hero raid. But yeah, here, he got the king to funnel those miners right through the center of that core. This is a great base to kind of see that funnel and to see that, just the vision. And, the queen basically stayed above 50% the entire raid there. Easy cleanup. I mean, he made that just look super easy. And it just VA, awesome hit, man. That was, piece of cake for you, honestly. Yeah, they had an 11 streak, so we were going into it. We were thinking like, oh, they might be, they might be decent. They might put up some triples and whatnot, and they put up a couple, but nothing to the extent that we were capable of. This is a great example of that raid that I was just saying. Unless you're Sui and heroes, a lot of these raids are going to be based off of the actual queen charge, and this is an example for that. And this is the E-clone raid that I've become a huge fan of. Notice the E-clone value. The E-clone is going to try and get, ideally you want the E-clone because you're Sui in the hero so that the E-clone has an easy opening and chain into the core there. So ideally with the E-clone you want to get the Eagle Artillery, the Archer Queen, and then like any other structures that go along with that. So he wasn't able to get that Eagle Artillery, but as you can see here, this Eagle Artillery, it's still raining down some big damage there, and actually took out all of those loons, but he still has the 2 E-Drags, and luckily one of those E-Dragons goes to that Eagle Artillery and kills it finally. So, might not be the most ideal value with that E-clone, but I guess in the end, it came full circle, and he did get the value that he wanted, just not the timing, I'd say. Yeah, now we have Shaner, and Shaner, he loves doing these witch slap attacks. I still can't even fathom, how awesome this is, because so yeah, notice this base. He's going to be coming in from the opposite side town hall with these witches, and they, just so many witches, it's insane. Yeah, and he's did a good little small queen walk. That's like a queen walk that you see a lot of the times with like Peekaboo Witch, kind of the spammer attacks, because it's a short distance of a queen walk that'll make that funnel for the rest of the troops, and then you do a couple witches and a peck on the opposite side, and you're guaranteed to get those troops in. Notice the bats went at about the 9 o'clock and went counterclockwise. Ended up dying on that wizard tower at about 3 o'clock. And then the rest of the troops just keep on keeping on, funneling, taking out troops. Look at how many skeletons are on that side. He's got a couple P.E.K.K.A.s to make breaking through those walls easy. Then again, with 100 skeletons that he's got there, that's not a big issue anyway. The good thing is those witches can reach to over across the wall, so the witches are going to take out that hidden Tesla. All right, now we have Ka. Guys, I love this attack. Just watch this, man. This queen charge is absolutely unreal. He queen charges basically 50% of the base. Notice the funneling there. He made huge use of that funnel with a couple loons, or a wizard or two, and then from there, he's gonna get this queen walk into this queen charge. And he's just this. I mean, this value of this queen charge is insane. Does a test wall breaker to get through that side. Uses the king on the other side to make sure that that queen goes into that compartment. And then from there, that queen is gonna be able to jump into the eagle artillery area. Again, that king is not really taking on a lot of defenses, so he's just getting a ton of nice and easy structures. That queen's still going strong, took out that eagle artillery, took out the enemy queen. The enemy CC does just come out, and it is a hound baby dragon. Unfortunately, those baby dragons are a pain in the butt, especially when it comes to Lalo. So the loons actually get taken out pretty quick. Warden's ability gets used pretty early, but it is going to be in clutch because he's going to use that Warden's ability on a couple loons that are raged, and then saves that Stone Slammer for the backhand side. So, I mean, Queen Charge 50%, Lalo at about 25, and then Stone Slammer at about 25, and then all that's left was that cleanup gold storage. So, Ka, I love that attack. That's going to go down in one of my top 5-10 attacks that I've seen. Now I've got Don Corleone. Again, this is kind of actually kind of a tougher base because the town hall is really centered. So you really need to come up with a good queen charge or queen charge / walk of vision, and he gets it done here. That baby dragon is actually coming in clutch there because usually you want to send like a minion or two to help clean up those the lava pups as they pop. But here, that baby dragon not only tanked for that queen, but also took him out. So that was a really good raid, or a really good aspect of this raid. From there, he uses that king. Notice how he used that king to make sure that wall wrecker and the queen were going to go into that town hall area. Just perfect. It really doesn't get better than that. And then that king still is going counterclockwise. The Lalo starts at about the 9:30 and is going clockwise. Rages over that eagle artillery. Uses a warden's ability as that last remaining eagle artillery shots rain down. And then, these loons just placed out perfectly. That Tesla farm does take out, the remaining loons. But he's still got his king that's going to take out a few, Tesla or two, and that queen coming up behind. And then that's a wrap, guys. That was a Don Corleone on a really cool queen charge Lalo. That was just really cool. You really have to adapt each attack. Now this attack I actually showed you guys in a fix that raid attack. I hit this one before and then I re-hit it for the triple, so I was kind of aware of the traps after I hit it the first time. I Sui'd heroes there. I really like this the Sui Hero Electron Hogs. Basically made the pathway clear 25% damage without even dropping, any major troops. Get that Stone Slammer and the Electro Dragons right into that Eagle Artillery Archer Queen area. From there, I have 43% done as I drop the hogs. I did notice that the Tornado Trap was on that multi-target Inferno, and I wanted to get that done early. So that's the raid before I did this. I came at it from the other way. I raged those hogs in the center there, did a couple hogs on the backhand side, got minions on that backside cleanup. And this was actually extremely close to a time fail. I was within a second of a time failing because the enemy CC Clan Castle was actually in the way. But I did and it's because that hound, the hound's not doing a lot of damage to my hogs. But what happens is that baby dragon gets distracted on that hound. So instead of just focusing on killing the king there or the king's tile or going to the enemy CC, it's stuck on that hound the entire time. And luckily the hogs were able to take out that CC before the hound popped, because if the hound popped, then all those lava pups are probably taking out the rest of my hogs. So yeah, here we got Don Corleone again, and this time is gonna be basically a Sui Hero, or it's a kill squad hog attack, but he did not bring any healers with it this time. So really planning on taking out and getting a lot of value with the kill squad there, which is great. That's a great way to look at it. Use that Warden's ability over the Town Hall. It's going to be basically the same deal as what you would see with me, but instead of having healers, he wants to have more of the more hogs, which makes sense on this raid. And that queen takes out that eagle artillery, which was clutch. And then the hogs, are just going out around this outside ring of defenses with a couple wizards in the back, couple minions up top. That queen is making it basically to the end of this raid. I mean, just a sliver of health while the hogs are catch up to her and take the lead on these defenses on the backhand side. So, yeah, that queen is able to actually break through a couple walls and comes in clutch on the cleanup with that elixir storage on the complete opposite side. If she wasn't able to turn there, it could have been possibly a good time fail. So it's 300 IQ queen right there on Don Corleone's attack. Now we have Shaner again. These mass witch slap attacks are just, it's hard to even commentate on them just because they're so crazy. They're honestly crazy. These witches just go ham. But yeah, notice the queen charge the queen walk that he was able to do with her, places that wall wrecker. So the wall wrecker is going to go inside that multi-target inferno compartment, which is around the backhand or the 3 o'clock side, which is going to be great because they're just going to funnel in right behind that wall wrecker into that town hall area. That jump spell is going to have huge value because that jumps leading into that eagle artillery, which is also going to have access to that archer queen, and just the rest of the space, honestly. The bats come in. The bats, doing their work as it goes, basically help take out that warden or eagle artillery. Took out, a wizard tower, and that's about it. That was the bats were really not that helpful on this raid, which is good because it shows off how great this kill squad was and how great these mass witches are. These mass witches, I love watching it just because it's such a foreign attack to me that I feel like I learned so much. I just am amazed by how long these witches actually stay up because usually, like a giant bomb and they're comatose, but, Shaner does a good job of keeping them alive, so. Next up is, I'm going to butcher this guy's name, but he is actually the leader of Greek Attack, and he decided to join us with a few wars. Now, again, watch this guy's queen charge. He uses a baby dragon to basically funnel the entire left-hand side. Uses a single loon. Look at the precision of that single loon to take out that cannon and that mortar. And then uses a peck on the other side, uses the stone slammer as well. And by the time, it's 50% by the time he drops his miners. The miners are ideally going to pathway straight to that town hall. Use the warden's ability over that town hall with the king and the enraged barbarians. The miners kind of split up, but in a sense that kind of worked out well because there was that multi-target inferno in the center of that compartment over there. So, kind of an oddball attack, but really, still having the precision of knowing where that queen's going to charge to stay up to the end of that raid. Now here's a funky base. It's definitely not a trophy base. It's definitely a anti-3 but the town hall's on the outside. These town hall on the outside raids are just, I don't know. I feel like they're quite easy to either like Sui Heroes or Mass Hog, Mass Lalo. Save the Stone Slammer for the M just to be sure. As long as you have a plan on the rest of the base, you're pretty much going to secure that if you save the Stone Slammer on that Town Hall on the backhand side. So, you got a Troll Builder Hut at the 3 o'clock, but relatively simple raid by Hangover. I couldn't do that, but Hangover made it look easy. Guys, this was a 10-3 triple count. These guys were on an 11 win streak, and we were able to secure it. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Until next time.